Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 8 of my Southampton series for FM16. This is the January transfer review, plus a bit of a fixture roundup, as well as a live com against Hull City. So, first of all, we got quite a bit of transfer activity to get into. All in all, it was a good window, but there were some problems with it. We'll say that, and the problems were my fault, but they were kind of out of my hands, if that makes sense. Of course, we have all the outs, a couple of loans, yeah, nothing too special there. We sold Shane Long to West Ham for 3 mil. I was complaining about first team football, hit the 30-year-old mark, and we loaned out Sam Gallagher, the other two loan signings there. I'll get into in a minute. The players we brought in. First of all, Scott Mitchell from West Ham for 1 million. A 16-year-old English left winger, looks very good, and yeah, will probably be potential, key team, first team member in the future. So 1-star current ability, 4-star potential, and I like all of his stats. They're all in the right places, and of course he's English, so he'll count as a homegrown player, and I feel like that's pretty important as we advance into the future. The next player I brought in was Marouane Fellaini. We needed another ball-winning midfielder of significant quality, and I say that term, pretty lightly when I mention Fellaini, but he was quite cheap. He's 29, which I was, quite hesitant about buying him, but he does have some decent stats, got the physicals. The technicals aren't too great, but he'll probably do a job for a season or two. So yeah, he was brought in for 5.5 million. He was transfer listed. We then re-signed Callum Chambers, so he's come back to the club that Arsenal bought him from. We paid 15.5 mil for him. He's pretty decent, as you can see. And I'll be playing him mainly as a centre-back, to be fair. As a covering centre-back as well. And I don't realise, yeah, I need to click on that, don't I? There we go, so he'll be covering centre-back. I'm trying out a few different roles with the centre defenders. He'll be a covering limited defender, and should play pretty well, but I'm just not, yeah, the defence is just not comfortable at all at the moment. But 15.75 million, and a good player, to be fair. And he's only 22 years old, so that's also a bit of a bonus. Kind of adheres to my own little transfer policy that I have going on at the moment. We then brought in Gaston Gil Romero from Bordeaux for 17.25 million. It was the highest highest transfer fee we paid, I think, for any player in the whole series so far, and he didn't get a work permit. Yep, again, bought him as a ball-winning midfielder. Looks a lot better than Fellaini does, and because he's Argentinian, hasn't played any international games yet, failed to get a work permit, and we've had to send him out on loan to Barrow. So paid over 17 mil for a player that can't even play because he didn't get a work permit. That is also the case with this guy, Wellington Silva. I'm not too sure how many of you would actually know about this guy. He is a very good player that Arsenal bought quite a few seasons ago, and he's failed to get a work permit pretty much for about, I think it's like 4 years or something. Yeah, nearly 4 years, I suppose. He was brought in... Oh shit, yeah, it's about 6 years actually, 5 years in real life. And yeah, he's only just got a work permit in real life. And yeah, they constantly loan him out, mainly to Spain. We bought him for 4.7 mil. He was unhappy at Arsenal. Wasn't getting any game time. And looking at his stats, he looks very good. Love that dribbling and that crossing. Pace is a little bit weak, but I can overlook that. Hopefully the technicals will make up for it. And the final player we brought in was Graham White, sorry. Was trying to read something else there. He was brought in from Yeovil. Not too sure how you pronounce it, or the proper pronunciation of it. I usually say Yeovil. And yeah, he's a little decent striker prospect, nothing too serious. Looks a bit more like a target man. He's got, oh, to be fair, he's got a little bit of pace about him. I'd probably play him as an advanced forward anyway. Um, yeah, it doesn't look too great, but you never know. You got to sign him. 3-star potential, and he's going straight into the youth teams for us. Was brought in for 450,000, so yeah, not too big of a risk there at all. We'll get to the fixtures now, and as you can see by all those little red dots there, we have had a dreadful time as manager of Southampton. I'll get into that in a second. We've got to go back to the Aston Villa game, which is up here actually. And the 2-0 victory in the last episode. We followed that up with a 1-0 victory over Derby, a Jason Shackle own goal in this one. We didn't play particularly well. Gaston Ramirez also missed a penalty in the 86th minute. But it was an important victory, to be fair. Derby aren't the best team. They're only recently promoted this season, so we needed to get the result there. We then followed that up with a pretty impressive 1-1 draw with Newcastle, who are, for some reason on this save, a very, very good team. Cisse opened the scoring in the 6th minute. We then equalised through Tadic, scoring a penalty in the 13th. Tiote, kind of as you would say, it's kind of expected, getting a red card there for 2 yellow cards. The next game was another draw, this time again 1-1, coming away to Watford. Benteke opened the scoring, Tadic got the equaliser, and one of their players in Neom was also sent off. So pretty much identical games really, pretty much sent off around the same time as well. We then followed that up with a nice little victory over Swansea. James Wilson and Dusan Tadic in the 91st minute. Andre Ayew missed a penalty for them, to our pleasure. We then played Manchester United. Not the worst result in the world. We were leading the scoring through Iheanacho. Depay got one back right on the stroke of half-time. And then Rafinha scored in the 90th minute. And, basically just sent us into a downward spiral. We probably didn't deserve the win, but we kind of deserved the draw. If you look at their goals, late goal, late goal. That's on the stroke of half-time, and that's, just before, well, on the stroke of injury time, really. And yeah, we lost to United, and then the losses kind of spiraled out of control. We had one really bad one that I'll get into in a second. The next loss was to Leicester. As you can see, they scored 2 goals. We got one back. But if you look at the stats, we didn't deserve to lose this game at all. 4 shots for them, 3 on target for 2 goals scored, 25 shots, 8 on target, and we scored the 1 goal in the 85th minute through Iheanacho. We did not deserve to lose. I think Schmeichel picked up man of the match as well. What can you do? Hey, what can you do? We then got absolutely destroyed by Everton. 5-1 loss away from home. Delofu, Santi Mina, I don't actually know who this guy is. Young Spanish striker. Yep, he's... Oh, I hate it when it does this. Yeah, but he managed to score. I think it was a brace. And, yeah, the board is really, really upset with this loss at the moment. It's just... for some reason, we've conceded 5 goals in, 3 games, and we're just, just over the halfway point. But Murray, the centre-back, got one, and Aaron Lennon also got one. Ben Arfa got us a goal, but I think we were probably... Oh no, it was that was an equaliser. So they scored 4 goals in 15 minutes. Wow. We deserve to lose, don't get me wrong, but not by 5 goals. The next game was another 2-1 loss, so 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, and 2-1, and 2-1. So yeah, we like to lose by 2 goals to 1, as you can see, quite evident. So a 2-1 loss to Arsenal. Higuain, Sanchez for them, and Zivkovic got one for us. They kind of outplayed us a little bit, and I guess we deserve to lose. We then lost to Chelsea. Very, very difficult games in this period, don't get me wrong. But to lose, I think we lost 7 in a row. That's including the FA Cup 3rd round. But anyway, Hazard, Costa, and Morata. Iheanacho on the score sheet once again, but we played like crap. We then faced West Ham in the FA Cup 3rd round that I just mentioned. Carles Gil and Henry Lansbury, and yeah, our goal scorer was James Wilson fairly late in the game. We then got battered by West Brom, 3-0 victory to them. Chris Brunt with an absolute beast of a free kick. I'll show you this. I think this is his first goal of the season, and it was an absolute rocket from probably, I think it was around the 40-yard mark, something like that. It'll obviously take a while to load, but jeez, it was a rocket of a free kick. Boom. Keeper didn't even move. Did not even flinch. I think that's Fraser Foster that was in goals there. Yes, it was. They got one through Berahino, and they've also signed Dele Alli, and he got his second goal of the season in that game. So, very poor result. We finally bounced back, however. I've changed the tactic a bit, and I've set it to attacking, and it kind of paid off in this game. We got a 3-2 victory over struggling Sunderland. James Wilson with a brace here. Emericio Emeterio also on the score sheet with the winning goal, actually, which was quite good. And yeah, Callum Chambers managed to score an own goal in his second ever game for the club as well. And in the final game against Norwich, we lost 2-1. Another one of those 2-1 losses that we have actually gotten this season. And yeah, James Wilson opened the scoring after Borja San Emeterio got sent off with a straight red in the 5th minute. And yeah, Graziano Pella once again strikes back and scores against his old club. And yeah, Nathan Redmond, a player I was, contemplating signing. Obviously, it was between him and I've forgotten his name. I've totally forgotten his name. Oh god, I just signed him. Wellington Silva. I knew it was Silva, I just couldn't remember his first name. Yeah, he was, I think, yeah, Redmond was about 18 to 25 million valued, and obviously I could have just gotten Silva for 4.7, so yeah, decided with Silva for 4.7, and then of course Redmond manages, to score a goal against me and break our hearts once again. So yeah, that's basically the fixtures. As you can see, they are bloody shocking. The balance is still very healthy, still 111 million in the transfer budget. Sadio Mane is actually one international appearance off activating a clause that will give us 10 million from Barcelona. So that's really good. Looking forward to getting their money there. And yeah, I guess that's basically it. We'll go into the league table before we start the live commentary. Well, this is the live commentary, but the live commentary of today's game. We're sitting in 11th. Obviously, we need to be 10th, and, we're struggling a little bit at the moment. Yeah, so are a few other teams, though. Everton is sitting in 8th position with 1 point ahead of us. So it's not, we're not in a crisis or anything. Well, we kind of are, but not in terms of the board's expectations. More in terms of my own expectations. I wanted to do a bit better this season. But I guess we are kind of rebuilding, and, I thought my January signings would have, been able to help us going into this the second half of the season, and that basically won't happen because they're out on loan to our feeder club trying to gain work permits, and that sucks. But anyway, so yeah, we can potentially get into 8th position with a win here today. We're versing Hull, who are in 18th, 15 points the whole season. So basically, in other words, I mean it's going to be a very, very tough game for us today, and we very well could lose. Anyway, that is basically it. We'll get into the lineup now and straight into the game. Ruley gets his start back after Foster's poor performances recently. He hasn't kept a clean sheet, and yeah, I'm not even sure if we've kept a clean sheet the whole season. Probably have, but just can't remember recently. Conceded that many goals and gotten that many losses that I can't actually remember the last clean sheet we had. But as I mentioned, we've changed things up a little bit in the centre of defence. We're playing with Ruley in goals, Bertrand at left back, Matthew as a ball-playing defend. Chambers next to him in centre back as a limited defender cover. We got Sakai at right back today because of Emeterio's red card. He's actually been further reprimanded as well for another 2 games, so that's not good. We might actually have to think about playing Chambers at right back if Sakai performs as poorly as he has throughout the season so far. That was a bit of a mistake bringing him in on a free transfer. He's been really, really bad. We've got Romeu as a centre midfielder support, Fellaini as the ball-winning midfielder defend, Balic as a deep line playmaker support, Juanmi as a trequartista, Tadic as an advanced playmaker attack, and Wilson up front as an advanced forward. The bench today will be Foster, Font, Target, Classy, Ben Arfa, Ramirez, and Iheanacho. And that is because Wilson keeps his starting role after his quite impressive 3 goals in 2 games, sorry. Pretty impressive. Hopefully his form can, continue and we can get a few goals from him today. And yeah, they're going with a bit of a 4-3-3, more defensive really. And I guess we kind of are as well, just not as defensive, I suppose. We're not playing with wingers, we're playing with attacking midfield centres, so it'll be interesting. We are trying to capitalise on the centre of the pitch, whereas they'll probably be playing out through the wings, and that could be quite a decent way for them to exploit our tactic, I suppose. But then again, if we can overrun their midfield, we've almost had the opening goal there straight away. Hopefully we can overrun their midfield, like I was saying, and just take the game to them really, even though they're dominating possession at the moment. Okay. They've still got Abel Hernandez, who was a pretty good player on previous FMs, so hopefully he's not on this one. I haven't actually checked his profile out yet. But we have 5 shots, 0 on target so far. They've finally got their own first shot, and it wasn't on target either. But the highlight does go to them, which is worrying. Robertson to Bruce, Huddleston, out wide. Oh, they cross it in. It's cleared away. Can we get the counter-attack? Oh, and Tadic loses the ball. But Romeu chips in. Juanmi puts it forward. Wilson, he's in behind. And he doesn't score. Duchez, their goalkeeper, manages to save it. We've got a corner though. Tadic. And it's cleared away. And Wilson just for some reason, I guess he was trying to head it back to Tadic, but that was just horrible. And yeah, we've got a shot on target, so I guess that's a positive. Hernandez has been offside a couple of times, which is worrying, but oh well. We haven't conceded yet. That's quite good. I'm quite pleased with that. But as you can see, James Wilson not playing too well, as is Fellaini. He's on a 6.4. To be fair, the whole midfield's not really playing very well, so I'm going to tell them that. I did change the the team shape to structured. We were playing a lot better with a fluid mentality, so I might change that back. We'll change it now, actually. Although we haven't conceded, so make of that what you will, but yeah. We're probably going to concede now, aren't we? Sakai to Wilson. Tadic. Balic. Oh, why didn't he run for the ball there? That was really weird. Oh, and we're lagging now. Lovely. Bertrand to Matthew. Great. Snodgrass with the ball. Bringing it forward for Hull. And Burgets. Or Burgay. I'm not too sure if he's French or not. Gale. Good save, Rulli. Keeps it 0-0. And that's the end of the highlight there. But we have another one. And then, surprise, surprise, Hull are on the ball once again. Livermore's in behind. Another good save by Rulli there. We might look to make a sub. Who's not performing? Fellaini's not performing. We'll bring Classy on, swap Romeu with Classy. Get the big man off. No wonder why United sold him so cheap. Aluko has come on for Hull. He's a pretty dangerous player. Come on, boys. Let's win the ball here. Duchez pumps it long. We win the ball, but they're going to get possession. Livermore now plays it out wide to Robertson. Snodgrass. Can't seem to get the ball off Snodgrass. Crosses it in. Oh, and Aluko almost scores. Brilliant save there by Rulli, but it was straight at him, to be fair. Bertrand, and that's the end of the highlight. So very discriminative highlights against us there. We're going to bring Juan Mi off. We're actually going to bring on Ben Arfa. Yeah. See if Ben Arfa can do anything in the last 15 minutes. It is 0-0. We haven't conceded yet. And Tadic has got a free kick. Oh, what a goal. Tadic with the little flick up to Wilson, and he smashed it in. That was a brilliant set piece. I love that. That was awesome. Never seen that on Football Manager before. A little flick up. Tadic with another free kick. Swings it in. It's cleared away though. Sorry. And Aluko, the danger player that I mentioned before, brings the ball forward. Oh, good tackle. Slows him down, but he crosses it. Snodgrass. Oh, good block. No. No. Gale scores. Gale scores. Come on, boys. Oh, we concede another late goal. And Wilson's picked up a knock. This game can be so cruel sometimes. It really can. So cruel. Looks like it's gonna finish 1-1, but that's a bad injury to Wilson. He's been our most impressive player, despite, well, kind of found a bit of a resurgence in form. And it's pretty much down to him, really. He's just been firing goals in. It's obviously, that's 4 in 3 games now. Hopefully he's not out for too long. And there we go, 1-1 draw with Hull. Not a great result. Kind of expected it not to really go our way. I'm just going to tell the boys unlucky. Ooh, don't want to do that. Tell the boys unlucky, and yeah, we only had 2 shots on target the whole game, so it's not really good enough, is it? Not really good enough at all. And we've dropped down into 12th position now, so the board they're gonna, their patience is probably gonna wear thin. And we got Crystal Palace up next. Another away game, which is lovely because we can't seem to win away ever. So yeah, worrying signs. I'm gonna have to. I don't know, if I keep changing the tactic too much, it's gonna completely ruin things, even though things already are quite bad. But that's basically going to be the end of this episode, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Not the greatest result in the world, but we didn't lose, so that's, I guess, a positive. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Goodbye.